What's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Ball. I'm one of your hosts, Troy Duchesne, and to my right,
it's your favorite comic, Sean Favorite. I'm in the building.
And all the way on the end,
Jamon Darius, man. Y'all know what's going on.
The Nefarious. Stop playing with him.
hell yeah, and we got a special guest in the building, one of New Orleans' favorite, one of my dogs right here. I need y'all to make some noise for comedian Pickle.
Yeah, man. The big Pickle in the building.
Thank y'all for having me today.
What's good, Pickle, man?
How you feeling, Brody?
I feel good, bro. After a day's work, come hang out with my boys. What's happening?
Yeah, man. We chilling. We having a good time.
It's overdue to have you on, Pickle. It's overdue.
Nah,
man.
for real though.
Nigga, we've been recording this for over a year down the corner from you. And
Right.
Literally down the corner, 2 minutes away, bro. I said he threw me that address. I said, "Oh, that's Baby Mike's. That's where. That's right down. We in the hood, baby. What's happening?"
Pickle
Man,
walked
you
here.
forgot to say Marrero's very own. I'm gonna forgive you because you from that 9.
You're right.
But like, you know, I was
Marrero's
waiting on
very
something.
own. You're right.
Marrero's very own.
You heard
Sure.
me. What's happening,
We're in the
Marrero?
building.
Yeah. Big M's. Stop playing with us.
What you do for work, Pickle?
I buy, sell, and fix instruments.
Okay.
Yeah, with my pops.
You played the instrument before?
I play the drums a little bit.
What that mean? Can you?
I mean, I suck at them. I'm not good. I mean, I'm better at selling instruments and fixing them.
Okay.
Pickle
That's what
said,
it mean.
I dibble and dabble.
When I get mad, I just beat the shit out of the drums.
What's your pitch to sell an instrument? Like, what's your go-to move?
Look how beautiful it is. Look at
Hypnotized.
That boy selling hoes. That boy selling pussy. Nigga say, look at her. Ain't she pretty?
she's shining in the she's shining in the light.
Hell yeah. All right.
No, really, I like instruments sell themselves kind of thing.
All right.
You got to make sure that they're working properly, and it depends on if people got money or not. Some instruments are worth a lot, some instruments aren't.
I think it also depends on if nigga really want to play this instrument too. Like, you can't sell nobody no instrument. They gotta want to play the instrument to want to buy
I don't think
it
that
too.
is
That's
an
true.
impulse buy. I
Right.
don't look at instruments as like an impulse buy.
Like I ain't
Nah,
see the
they-
saxophone and be like, man,
Yeah, go-
I'm about to buy that.
Like, who the fuck
Yeah,
is buying
you-
an instrument?
You gotta learn how to play the saxophone.
Well, like musicians that know how to play like the guitar and shit will do impulse buy guitars. You know what I mean?
Right.
But also like violins and stuff like that, that is not an impulse buy. You know what I mean? Like I sold we had a basketball player, I think he used to play with the Nets or some shit like that, came into the shop and bought a violin for like $4,500.
Damn.
You know what I mean? And it was $5,000, and he talked my dad down to $500. I was like, Dad, they got the money. You know what I'm saying? Tell him no. This is
Hey, I'm trying to hold on to my little cash. I used to play for the Nets.
we sell it Louis Vuitton. You know what I'm saying? These
Trying to
things
tell you.
appreciate. You know, they don't depreciate.
That is true. That's how it was when I worked at Lids. Buying a hat is such an impulse buy. Like, so rarely do people like, I'm about to go buy a hat. But they have us on this, like, we have to sell a certain amount of hats. They got us on this quota. And they really have like a whole little breakdown of basically how to talk to somebody to convince
I was
them
about to
to
ask
buy
you
a hat.
how you
sell a hat?
How you selling a hat?
I never did it. It used to be cringe because I feel like everybody, nobody's crazy.
So you ain't make no money?
I did. I sold a lot of hats, but I didn't go by that.
Well, look, I love hats. That's like my favorite thing in the world. Sell me a hat.
Like, you come in there with your hat on, I got you. You just start talking about hats with people.
Sell them a
They
hat
used to
right
want
now.
like, that's the thing. When I went in for my interview, I went in and I asked if they was hiring. They like, yeah. I'm like, well, what you go? You know, you got to fill out an application. Or what you do is like, well, we just really like selling hats. I said, I sell a hat right now. Like, I do not work there. I just walked down, I'm talking to the manager. She's like, all right, cool. So I saw somebody in the store and I got them to buy a hat. And she was like, all right, cool, go fill out the application. You hired. Got hired before I filled the app out. But what they want you to do is when somebody walk in the store, nope, man. Well, you lucky I don't know which one is the, hold up, let me see. Nope.
Oh no, that's you. That's
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go. But they want you to take the hat down and put it in their hand. Like, if you see them looking at a hat, go through all the effort of like getting the ladder and all that, because then you make them feel bad that you done went got the ladder and you done went up there and
Like
got
a
the
shoe
hat.
salesman.
Yeah, so you put the hat in their hand first. That's what they want you to do.
I went in the back of the store and got you these shoes, and now you ain't gonna buy them.
Yeah, like the moment they mention it, go get the hat and put it in their hand.
right.
Nigga did all that for $9 an hour. That's crazy. All that for that $9 an hour.
I ain't used to feel like doing that though, because people not stupid. They know when you trying to like coerce them into buying something. People not crazy. I'd rather like genuinely, like organically, like talk to this person and try to like see if they really into the hat. Then they want you to sell embroidery on the hats too. I'm like, nobody is embroidering hats no more. It's not 2005.
Yeah, it's cool to watch that machine, but I'm not paying $20 to get something special.
Hats already hadn't got expensive by this point. This like 2016, 2017. Hats used to be cheap, but they had one drug dealer out there when I was living in Lafayette. This was when I was in college. He was out of Acadiana. And when he came in the store, I knew I was about to do all my sales for the week. He coming by. He must be buying hats for everybody in his little gang. The nigga will come and buy like 30 hats, and then he want them all embroidered with his little name of his little gang, his little click on the side. That was all my money for that week.
That's
right
all
there.
his hats. That
Every
ain't for nobody. But him.
How long your daddy been selling instruments?
He's been fixing instruments for about probably like almost 50 years, dude. 50 years in the game in New Orleans. My dad is like a legend in the state.
Damn.
Yeah.
And you grew up in Marrero.
I grew up in
How
Marrero.
was that? How was growing up in Marrero?
It was wild.
You ain't never asked me
Bro,
that.
growing up in Marrero, I want to ask. I want to see the differences. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm literally from 2 minutes down the road, bro. And like growing up, my area was a bunch of abandoned houses, and now it's not, but at first it was like abandoned houses and shit like that. So us and the little crew we had in the neighborhood would run around and fuck them up.
Had a little crew.
Yeah, bro.
What
Yeah,
was the name of the crew?
It wasn't a crew, like I mean, it was just our friends. You know what I'm saying? We the Marrero Gorillas. You heard me? Nah, no, it was just a bunch of degenerates from around the area.
Right.
We would just jump in people's these houses or go in the back of the yard, smoke weed and fuck the house up and shit like that. But it was fun. You know what I mean? Certain of us, a lot of people from my area died, bro. Right? You ever seen that? It was a documentary on Netflix about the opioid epidemic and shit. They show a dude who died. It was a famous case that happened like in my neighborhood, right down the road from me, where his dad like overdosed him on pills and shit. And it's just like in my neighborhood, and they put this dude's face, his picture up in the documentary. And I shit you not, bro. It was like fucking 2:00 in the morning, and me and my old lady at the time just laying in bed watching this shit. And they put this dude's face on the screen, and I pop on my feet in the bed like, babe, I know this fucking guy. You know what I mean? And I called his brother. And I said, dog, they got your brother in this documentary. And he said, yeah, I'm looking into the lawyers. He said it was public information or something like that. So they just take it and put it in there without asking.
Dang.
Yeah, people don't know that. Like Marrero specifically was like a hot spot for heroin at one point.
Fuck yeah. Heroin, pills, the Holy Trinity. You know what I mean? You know,
Holy Trinity.
the Holy Trinity is Somers, Xanax, and L10s.
Yeah.
That's old school drugs. Don't worry about it.
Y'all don't know about the main streets of Marrero,
You-
man. Y'all don't know. Shit is real out here.
We
Like,
hustling.
You know how they be making fun like, oh, you from Marrero? Ha ha ha. Like,
Yeah.
nah, nigga, this shit was crazy.
real, nigga.
This shit was crazy.
When the power
fucking-
go out, Marrero, bitch, you better have an ATV. You heard me? Nigga? Get around this bitch. You are.
Y'all lucky the
You was in the
Marrero
jungle.
project's gone.
Ooh.
Uptown, downtown niggas.
All that.
Fuck all that. You know what I mean? Fuck all the fucking MILF. No, nigga, Marrero.
Nigga Marrero.
Real M.
The real M, nigga. The fuck
Marrero.
on with y'all, nigga. Calio, bitch. Marrero, nigga. The fuck on
Marrero
with y'all.
be like that, bro.
I appreciate that, Harry. That meant a
Yeah,
lot.
fuck
That
on with
meant a
these
lot.
niggas. Bang this bitch on Marrero, nigga.
Yeah.
Bang this bitch.
y'all know that Shell station that just opened up down on West Bank Expressway. How long that bitch was closed for, bro?
Oh, yeah.
'Cause it's a hot spot. I went up in that bitch almost 15 years ago, and these chicks from the night wall were working that bitch, and they were looking at me like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And I was like, "What is that supposed to mean?" They're like, "You're white." I said, "Bro, I'm from here." You know what I'm saying? They're like,
Railroad me.
no, they like leaned in like it was a secret. They leaned into me here like it was a secret and was like, it's hood as fuck around here. I was like, bro, this is Louisiana. You know what I mean? Y'all, you think the Ninth Ward's the only New Orleans? You know, it's
No, Marrero,
So
the
how you-
fuck?
How you got into comedy?
oh, I was a fuck up, dude, and God told me to get into comedy. I was literally in a life or death situation in my life. I was a meth addict. at the time, and I was living with my old lady at the time in Metairie, and she was at her parents' house in San Antonio, and I started like I was like, for some reason I had started listening to motivational videos and stuff like that, and then it got me into like preachers, and I got into TD Jakes, and I was listening to TD Jakes. I had put together like 7 clean days off of meth. I was still smoking weed or whatever, but like off of meth, I had put together like 7 clean days. And I was listening. It was like 12 o'clock at night, 12:30 or something. And I was listening to a sermon by TD Jakes. And after the sermon, dude, I like had started crying like the realest tears of my life, bro. And I like called out to God. I was like, God, I know there is something more for me in my life than this. This is I can feel it, but this is not it. You know what I mean? And I started crying, and I sat down on the end of my bed, bro, and I put my head between my legs, and in my left ear, I heard 2 words. It like a whisper said, "Stand up." And I stopped crying immediately, dog. And I got up and I said, "Stand up." All right. Just stop crying, dog. Stand up, okay. And I just knew, you know, they say a sheep, what is it? My sheep know my voice, a stranger they will not follow. It's like I automatically knew what was going on, bro. Like God told me to go do stand up, and I looked into the New Orleans comedy scene, and I was like, oh shit, we got a comedy scene here, you know. And I was horrible the first year. That's how I got into stand up. You know, you listen and obey.
Yeah, that's a very uplifting story. Mine is not as powerful. You could go tell that at schools and stuff. Mine not so
Can
much.
I tell that to a
I'm
school?
about to say, you're going to scale a head out.
Can I tell you?
Yeah, fuck, that's what the fuck
I
they
tell
little crazy
that?
asses need to hear.
Yeah, they need to hear words from an ex-drug addict.
Yeah. Shit, I'll come with your ass. Shit, me and that coke had a big old relationship. Anyways.
Oh yeah,
Yes, indeed.
I did too with
Yes.
cocaine
Oh, my
when
God.
I was drunk.
Turn your headphones down. Y'all don't need to hear this. But
Tell me about it, Marrero.
Yeah, tell them.
nah, bro, cause y'all know I don't smoke.
Right.
But I knew shit had got bad. They had this little chick. This was the chick who got me to try it the first time. I know I told that story on the podcast. But fast forward to what my journey would have ended. She was like the biggest cokehead. And she was like, Sean, you gotta chill. Like you going too hard. And I was like, damn. That meant a lot coming from her. Cause she go hard in the paint. She gave me a big ass, like not a big ass, but you know, like a sandwich bag of weed, like a sandwich bag, but it was full of weed, about a little over halfway, and I don't smoke. She was like, look, just smoke all this. And I did. I sat in my mama's garage and rolled it all the way up. Because people ask me, like, you don't smoke. How you know how to roll from this? I sat there and I rolled it all up. And I just, because you know that the urge is so strong. Like I don't really know how to explain to somebody who never tried it. You've never wanted to do something or had the urge to do something as much as people who do those kind of hard drugs. Like when you don't have any, you want it, and you're trying to fight through going and buying it. I done the dumbest shit to get some more. So it's like, that's a very strong urge. So I said that, and I think I smoked like 4 blunts back to back. Like
Big loaded.
and I don't smoke. I rolled all that shit up and I just smoked it because it was that
Was
hard.
this after doing like a night of cocaine or a bender on cocaine?
No, this was.
What was a bender for you? How long?
I don't know, maybe like 30,
You don't have a
34
drug
hours.
dictionary. What the hell is
36
a
hours.
bender?
That's okay.
What's a bender?
Like how long you go without like stopping?
Damn. Okay.
Well, and when I would get past like 24 hours, it would be like the fucking Twilight Zone. It's like I know I'm up, but it's like I'm sleeping. Mm-hmm. And it's like once I get to that point, everybody like waking up and going to work and shit. Nobody's out partying no more. You high as a motherfucking kite, and now you just go to feeling stupid. I used to always go to Walmart because I just wanted to be around
You
people.
did not go to Walmart.
I wanted to be around people.
You went.
That's sad.
You went.
This how you get into comedy. Fuck.
This is
I needed to
Marrero,
do something else in my life.
So wait.
Y'all two just like, what the fuck?
because I couldn't do cocaine and be around people. That is a thing. I sit inside.
It makes me very social.
That's how I am with edibles. Like if I take an edible, I'd rather be inside off of edible.
Oh, for real? I just be want to talk. I'd be so social.
Oh, not me, bro. I would be sitting. I was also a drug dealer, whatever. In my real cocaine days, you know. But I was slinging ecstasy, so I could buy cocaine, and it was like this was like 15 years ago, 16 years ago, some shit like that. And it was when cocaine was really cocaine. Like, you hit that shit and you're just fucking numb, dude. From time. That trash they got going around today is nobody should ever do that and say they did cocaine.
Don't do
drugs.
I really like, you should have did drugs at the time, but I would really tell people don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Now. You can't even get the drug that you asking for no more.
Right. It's not even real shit no more, bro. The same with like ecstasy and all that, bro. I don't do none of that shit.
You have to put a disclaimer on the front of this.
Yeah, say no to drugs.
Say no to drugs.
Nah, for real. But nah, yo, like, have we ever asked each other like what made like y'all start doing comedy? Like, what was that moment? Like Pickle said that was his moment.
But wait, that's what started you doing comedy? Is like
I've always wanted to do comedy from when I was little. Mm-hmm. And to basically make a long story short, always something I wanted to do from when I was a kid. But you know, I played sports, and sports took me kind of far, and it was in the back of my mind.
Okay.
So once sports was over, I had tore my Achilles and then fractured my foot. And I had a G League tryout, and then I fucked myself up. I was playing in the ABA and the CBL.
Basketball?
Yeah.
Nice.
Then I fucking got depressed because I was like, I worked real hard to get to a certain point.
Yeah.
And like I said, I drank. I never smoked or did nothing. I was like a square. But since I went to the military, my other friend, which was Raven at the time, Raven was gone. Everybody was just gone. Like all the people who I did lean on, like all my friends, was just like away doing other stuff. And then I was hanging out with that goddamn pretty light-skinned delinquent. And she was just like, and I was just going through something. I was just down.
Pretty folk problems. That's what they usually talk about. Pretty boy problems.
And she got me to try it. And because you know that shit hit instantly. And like being depressed for that long. And then like you try something and like as soon as I feel great now. It's kind of hard not to lean into that when you that down on yourself. Because I can make myself feel better instantly for $50 to $100. Right. It's basically priceless, but then you see what it start to do to your life. Yeah. And then it's like, well, it's not worth it no more. Mm-hmm.
It could take your whole life, dude. Heroin.
But when I got out of it, I was like, I want to do something for myself. Like you're not playing sports no more. That's done. Do something else for yourself. Okay. To where you can have something else to lean on. You don't need your friends. If your friends doing their own thing, you don't need that. Or you don't have no relationship, that's fine. You don't need that. Like do something for you. And it was like, well, I always did want to do comedy. For sure. And then that's how that happened.
So you never were a drug dealer? You just did whenever you had your chick around?
Nah, well, no, I ain't never sold no drugs. Nah. I thought about it.
I sold weed before.
You sold weed before?
Wasn't good at it.
How about you, Harry?
How about one more time?
You ever sold drugs?
Nah, I never sold no drugs, man. I went to military.
That's what's up. See, that's the fucking move.
Military.
I went to college. Dropped
the
out.
funny thing is, I went to college. All this shit happened after college.
I went to college too, you guys. I had a 3.8 GPA. You understand?
I was a good student.
Yeah.
Nah, for real, I feel that. But nah, what happened? The trigger though was I was watching. I don't know if y'all ever seen it when they did the first inductees into the Comedy Hall of Fame, and it was Richard Pryor, Robin Williams, George Carlin, and I can't remember the lady name. But anyways, I was watching that, and I was in the room, and I remember like it was just showing like they highlights.
Joan Rivers?
Yes, through their life. And just I had become so overwhelmed like watching this. I legit hopped up on the bed, stood up, and I pointed at Raven and I said, bitch, I'm gonna be the best comedian to ever live. And I started going to open mics right after that.
Has that been another?
That's when you showed up at Comedy House.
Has there been another induction into that?
I haven't heard about it.
I think that was some shit they just doing for show. I don't think.
I don't think that's real.
Yeah, that was a fake ass Hall of Fame. I haven't heard of another induction.
They ain't did another class since.
I ain't never did a class since.
I feel like they got plenty of people to choose from.
They do.
They actually almost 5 years ago.
Bernie Mac is definitely one of them.
Red Fox. You got all kind of folks.
Yeah, like there's so many people. They did that one. It was like, yeah, all right. Next thing, what the fuck? What?
Though that is true though, because I be thinking, because I don't be like tapped in as much as I would like to, that I just miss it. I don't assume that they stop. I just had to assume maybe I just ain't heard about it. Maybe I just missed it.
I would have heard about that. They ain't done it in 1 cent.
Isn't it the Mark Twain Prize now?
No, they get that to one motherfucker.
they keep giving
Yeah,
it
they
to
get
one
to
person,
one every
but it's
year.
usually a comic as well.
Know what I'm saying? Yeah, but like
wait, what's the award that Kevin Hart and Dave Chappelle got?
that's the Mark Twain
The
award.
Mark Twain.
Yeah.
But I feel like
I want to see the Hall of Fame award. Fuck all
Right,
that. What the Hall of Fame?
we should have a Hall of Fame. It's such
There
an
should be.
iconic profession, and there's so many icons in it.
We should.
Like a Hall of Fame for comedians is almost like a no-brainer. When I seen it, I was like,
Definitely.
finally, you would have thought you would have been done that. Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of fucking people.
They said we're gonna induct these 5, 6 niggas. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. They ain't got
Paul Mooney, where you at?
Well, I'm glad my Richard Pryor and George got in on the first go round because I don't know if anybody else gonna
I
make it.
ain't putting Dave, Chris Rock.
That's
I ain't
all
putting Kevin.
first ballots right there.
You ain't putting nobody. Okay, I respect the hate, man. Whoever did
But
that
like,
shit.
who would be voting on that? Some people who not tapped in.
No,
You know,
Shit,
Hollywood.
Who voted on the
Hollywood.
first motherfuckers?
That was a bunch of obvious shit.
who vote on the
But like
basketball Hall of
once
Fame?
you get is a bunch of
Hollywood.
analysts and shit like that,
So probably do
reporters,
something
and
like that, not something like that.
because I would hate for kind of like what awards, where a lot of times, certain projects get overlooked, certain people constantly get overlooked because there's the favorites. That little 4 or 5 that made it, that's very obvious picks. But once, let's say 3 or 4 classes pass, and now we getting into like really technical, do you know comedy or not? When we picking these people, like who do you entrust that to? You feel what I'm saying?
I would probably say your
Because
peers.
there's a lot of comedians who we know like are iconic to comedians that I think the general public probably wouldn't know. Right. So it's like those people we would probably feel like need to be in there. They affected how comedy goes and is told.
It would have to be comics for it to be
comics.
legit. It would have to be comics that are like legends today, that are living legends, that start to pick the old ones.
Right.
You know what I mean? Every year we putting 5 in, like the NFL Hall of Fame. I think that would be.
Hey, I think I ain't gonna lie. 'Cause you let the wrong mother go, and that bitch gonna be so white. Like, who these white ass comedians y'all having in here?
Why would it be all white?
We're gonna get us one
That's why I said
blackie
that's
a
if
year.
Hollywood takes over,
That's why I
bro.
said you got the wrong motherfuckers doing it. That bitch gonna be white as fuck.
Because I need them to have like a museum, like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, so I could go there one day. I won't go there and see all the
Dude, you ever been to the Comedy Store in
Nope.
L.A.? You go to L.A., the Comedy Store, it's like that, bro. You just got pictures on the wall. They have everybody and their names on the wall already. But you go in that bitch, and there's just pictures of just legends, just rows of legends just everywhere around that bitch. And you're like, man, this is shit, bro. I'm in fucking the store about to do a fucking set, And that shit is exciting.
So that's the type of shit we need.
The only thing with a comedy Hall of Fame is, do you have to retire to be in the Hall of Fame?
In sports, yes, but in comedy,
I
I would say
dead. First.
dead.
You can't even enjoy your own
That's
Hall
what
of
I'm
Fame.
saying.
You can't
Nah.
go to your Hall of Fame
That's
ceremony.
I don't think so.
That's rough.
Nah, I need to
think
be
so.
at my Hall of Fame ceremony, bro. I gotta
Nigga
be
say,
at my
man,
Well, maybe we got to run out of the dead ones first. Maybe put 1 or 2 alive ones in there.
Nigga said you a first ballot. You ain't gonna be here to see it.
Man.
You a first ballot, my nigga.
They should have kept it rolling whenever
Because
they did it with Richard. You
in
know?
sports, you gotta retire at some
Gotta
point.
retire, yes.
But in comedy,
Yeah.
you necessarily
Yeah,
you
you
don't
go
necessarily
till you're
have to.
old.
You can keep
Yeah.
going forever. So
Right,
it's
you
like
keep going
I
forever.
don't know. Maybe after I don't want to put a time limit on it because there's people who die before they hit certain
Right.
points in like longevity
Yeah.
who I think should be in.
You gotta
And
be
it's just
certain
like
accolades. Probably you gotta have certain accolades to.
yeah, maybe so.
But those today who would be in, like who would
You
be
know
in.
who would be.
That's
So
what
it's
I'm saying.
like-
The first couple years is gonna be fine.
Right.
You got plenty of people to pick from.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
after that.
But not that like what have you contributed to
to
this
comedy.
thing?
Yes.
Like you would have to had made like a real presence
Impression,
here.
yeah, yep.
And like if not one of the forefathers, you gotta do some incredible shit. Right. I think like today, Kevin Hart, maybe Ali Sadiq could be one of like the more newer,
love Ali
could be
Sadiq,
one of the more newer faces that I would even consider put just because of what they've done to this point. The rest of you niggas keep pushing.
Right.
But yeah,
right.
you know, like,
Ali Sadiq is amazing, bro. He's one of my favorite. Him and Joey Diaz are like, because they're both criminals,
Bill
ex-criminals.
Burr,
Bill Burr.
Because
some
like
along those
everybody
lines.
gonna say Bernie Mac, right? But Bernie Mac don't have a lot of the work, accessible work that some people have that I don't think would be, in this criteria.
What you mean by that?
I'm gonna say
Because Bernie Mac he was a comedian for a long time, but Bernie Mac don't have specials.
but he got TV and movies.
He
But
do-
he got
but, so
these
we
specials.
including all that?
That's what I was-
Yeah,
that's
he
what
got
I'm
his
at.
own show, the Bernie
All right,
Mac
all right,
show.
cool.
You
So
can
that's
include
fine.
everything because it's all comedy. It's all a part of
First
comedy.
and second ballot, but
Right.
I ain't doing Bernie. We ain't about to do Bernie.
I'm not about to do Bernie that, but I'm saying
that.
though, but that's what shit get tricky because he gonna get certain privileges or certain things we gonna let slide that other people not, and then it become unfair. Because I feel like specials should be the top thing we grading here.
I don't think so because we
That's what we do. We comedians.
Hold on, let me land. Keenan Ivory Wayans we've never seen him do a stand up special, but he's first ballot.
First ballot, yeah, guaranteed.
First ballot. Keenan Ivory Wayans.
Him and his brothers.
Come on now.
All right, yeah.
Thank you.
That's comedy royalty.
That's what we talking about.
Robert Townsend.
Right.
He ain't
Robert
never.
Townsend.
He's going in now. He's going in now. Robert Townsend going in.
I don't disagree with nothing y'all saying.
Okay then, so it's not. But we're not talking just stand ups. We talking
And
about bodies
you're
of
talking
work.
about that guy, all them stand-up specials ain't fucking with Bernie, so that's that too.
But see, that's your
People
personal
who
opinion.
change history too.
I share your opinion, but then people can always say that that's your opinion though.
Yeah,
My thing is, when I say that, it could be proven.
right.
I know Bernie is hilarious, but Bernie just hasn't been able to put out as much on stage work as some of the other people who not gonna make it.
Well, I mean, that's not completely true. We don't know how much Bernie got on stage.
I'm pretty sure he got 1 million hours.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about. Like, when we refer to delirious or raw, we refer to seriously funny and we
Okay.
refer to like
I got a question. Joan Rivers was in there. What the fuck she did?
TV.
I personally can't tell you nothing. Joan Rivers. I,
can.
personally can.
I can personally tell you, Joan Rivers has written more jokes. She had file when she died. She had file cabinets from A to Z for jokes of thousands of jokes, bro. Of everything she's ever done and every show that she's ever done.
And what she did for women
And what she did for women. You know what I mean? So yeah, Joan Rivers is a legend.
I'll
dude.
take Bernie Mac over Joan every day. That's me though.
I mean, I would too.
Give
Joan
me, bro,
Rivers is
some-
not. She's not my idol in this thing.
Joan River,
You know.
Joan the Volk, roll on the river. Fuck out of here. Bernie Mac. Fuck out of here.
Bernie Mac and 5.
Bernie Mac and 5. Get the fuck out of here. I don't have to worry about no fucking Joan Rivers.
Well,
Get the fuck
Joan
outta
Rivers
here.
already in. So
Right,
fuck.
Yeah.
right. You can't take
I'm
that out.
I'm saying though, but if she's gonna be in, then come
Yeah,
on,
Bernie
now.
could
Come
get
on
in,
now.
yes,
What are we talking
yes.
about? What are we
Bernie's
talking about?
definitely in,
What are we
but
talking about? You know?
Don't worry, this is gonna be our new segment, the Comedy Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Like, what are we talking about?
Picked by us.
I want
That
to
way-
say I
We
want
were
to.
just talking about yesterday. We were talking about how Kevin Hart doing the freshman 15 stuff,
And that's dope. That's dope.
Tata Sharice is on it.
That's
Rob
dope.
Kaiser is on
That's
it.
dope.
But I had said like what institutes a freshman because
Yeah.
all these people have been doing it for a whole lot of years. But like Troy was saying, it really go based on like when people know about you. That's basically like your start. And comedy is like you have 3 different starts. You start doing comedy, and then you get a little name for yourself, and then everybody know about you, and it's like, oh, this is a new face. Then you make it to like a national scale or international
household
scale,
name.
household name, and then you have a start again. You feel what I'm saying?
That's levels, different levels to the game.
So you start a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, niggas still on their first start, so it's like it's chilling. I mean, I'm a super freshman. I'm a kindergartner.
I mean, me too. I'm a tie. What is 7? I'm 7 years into the
About to say,
thing,
I'm-
Yeah, you in like 2nd grade.
something like that. Yeah, and I'm just having fun
3rd
with the
grade.
journey, bro. That's
For
what you
sure.
got to do because everybody's got a different journey.
I would feel like
You know?
10 years in my head is high school. Like you're a little older, you're maturing, and maybe when you get to like, I don't know, somewhere around 15, maybe I would say like you grown in this comedy game for real. So it's like me, nigga, I'm in the beginning of my 3rd year.
Yeah.
Like, and when you hear people who get on, it's like, well, how long you been doing comedy? It's like, oh yeah, I'm getting my big break. I've been doing it 17 years. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, that shit can be rough, but at the same time, that's why you focus on your shit. Like you got a nice little journey going, bro. You done did Canada already and shit. You know, I can't go to Canada ever.
Damn.
See, I can't even stop putting Canada. Let me do comedy.
They will ship my ass right back to this bitch.
I saw the little room that they probably gonna have you in there. Buku niggas in that bitch. I was like, ooh, sucks to be y'all. Oh, let them look like everybody in that bitch look mad.
What is your favorite place to do comedy?
Oh man,
Oh,
Oh, okay.
hold it right there. Yeah, man, we back like we never left. So Like you were saying, Troy, what you was saying, asking Pickle was the favorite place he performed?
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite place?
In like Louisiana or
No, all around.
All around. I love Detroit, bro. Mm-hmm. Detroit's the shit. It's just fun. The comics there they got a nice size scene where it's like they got the comedy clubs and there's a camaraderie in the scene that's nice, you know.
I never forget that. Wait, go ahead. You still saying something?
No, what you got?
I'm about to say I never forget when we went on that road trip together.
Oh, that was Alabama.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy as fuck.
Yes, it was.
I headlined of I guess a Satanist bar is what this place was.
Yes,
in Troy.
It was dark as hell.
I had my baby mama and my fucking son with me, bro. That shit was wild.
I'm in the car.
Yeah.
We took that road trip. We went, did that shoot, got our ass back on the road.
Yeah. Doing comedy, you do some crazy gigs in crazy places.
Is that one of the craziest gigs you did, or what's
that probably is one of the wildest places I've ever got to do a comedy show.
And the host had one arm. Shout out to Compton.
Hell yeah, what's up, Compton? That's my dude. But you'll do shows in all kind of crazy places. I did a show in a castle one time, and it was for a wedding.
Nigga was a court jester.
Dude, that shit was crazy. I was on mushrooms and I just started roasting the room. It was that's probably the craziest show I ever did.
Okay.
Cause I don't know why I get put in all these weird situations. Cause the groom, I looked at him. I said, "Man, you look like you got rich off of NFTs," and they were all laughing. He's like, "I did." I said, "Oh, for real?" And he said, "Yeah." And he said something about having 2 wives. I said, "What kind of religion is that?" And he turned his hat around. It had a pentagram on it. And I was like, and Bruffett was the one who brought me. I was looking at bro, like, Bruffett, what you bringing me, dude, to do these satanic fucking
Pickle performing next
shows.
to the guillotine. You better kill, or you're getting killed.
I looked at where we were. We were in the woods in a castle in Covington, and I was like, "This is too much right now, bro. I gotta get the fuck out of here."
I'm happy he didn't bring you to that one.
Yeah, for real.
Niggas, it's a shame what happened to Troy.
No, I make sure if I bring Troy or anybody, it's on the good one now.
But I did want to talk about what me and you was talking about in the car yesterday. Mm-hmm. When Sleepyhead took a screen recording of, I don't know if you watched Shannon Sharp and Mark Norman.
Yeah, I watched it yesterday.
When he was talking about New Orleans
and
how we not a comedy
Do you feel
city.
like New Orleans is a comedy city?
The way he put it is that comedy clubs don't survive here, and I agree with that shit. They really don't. You know what I mean? Because it's not a full all sides unified kind of thing behind the club going on.
But I feel like if we was a comedy city, then I'm sorry, our clubs would survive, because a comedy, like New Orleans is a football city. You see how hard motherfuckers go behind the Saints? There's a push from the community. It's a football city. Motherfuckers go to the Pelicans game, but we ain't a basketball city. It's different.
I don't think
we still have a basketball team though.
I don't think our comedy clubs don't survive, not because we not a comedy city. It's because of how they are ran.
Nah, well,
that too.
But I feel like when a city is a blank city, the people in it just by a large majority of them fuck with whatever that is.
But we're not a blank city. We're an alcoholic city.
Yes, and everybody drinks. We a party city. Everybody party. We not a comedy city. And that don't mean we not funny.
Right.
To me. Right. That don't mean we not funny.
We are a comedy city, and we bring the funny as the comics here.
How many cities we done went to and we was the funniest niggas there?
I'm gonna agree with what Troy is saying. In the sense of, yes, we are funny, and yes, we are good in our own right. They run these clubs really fucked up.
Yeah, it's not.
And
the club we do have be sold out. We've seen it sold out the whole weekend.
That club can and do be so, but even he runs that kind of fucked up. Like, he don't run that, like, shit's very cliquish. The only club in down I've seen that works and runs how it runs is Silly Rabbit. But even then, he not fucking with local niggas like that. Right? So again, like I've said before, and I said in the message, New Orleans and surrounding areas is a very dick riding city. It really is.
I ain't riding no dick. Fuck that.
I'm saying, let me tell you what I mean when I say that. What I mean when I say that is people down here only support popularity and what's popular. Wow. And if you're not already on, you ain't already making shit move, then no one it's like you have to make people elsewhere give a fuck to make people in New Orleans give a fuck.
First thing we outside barking, you tell me that we got a comedy show going on tonight. Who performing?
Yeah,
Local
but it's
acts.
like that a lot of places though. People dick riding all over the place who want to be into something because you popular already. I feel like the only way people will go watch locals do shit is if it's that kind of city. Like we a music city. Motherfuckers will watch the little kid. I just saw a big crowd around the motherfucking kid beating on the fucking the buckets. I can't get that many people to a comedy show, but you gonna watch a 13-year-old beat on the fucking bucket with 40 people sitting around him. We a music city.
But we have comedians that come here that sell stuff out. Like Kevin Hart here.
That's Kevin Hart, bro. Because people fuck with shit that's popular.
You're
not supporting the locals.
Can I give more context to that Mark Norman thing? Mm-hmm. Mark Norman also said that you need to get out of New Orleans to like make it in the comedy game. That's what he meant by it's not a comedy city like New York is, or they say LA is, or now that Austin is. You know, and I get that. You know what I mean?
So how did Austin become a comedy city?
New Orleans, because LA moved to Austin. But Austin was already a comedy city, so they have their own fucking politics that goes on there. That's why I also like being part of New Orleans, because this is like we're in the dark, dude. You know what I mean? You get to perform, you get to do it all with a crowd, and no one gets to see us. Until, like you said, we step out of the city and we're the best person on another fucking person's lineup.
Right.
And that's how we get saw. You know what I mean? That's how we start to really rise up in the ranks of the comedy levels. You know what I mean? And that's where the next levels come up. This is the beginning.
We could turn this bitch into a comedy city, but I wouldn't call it that yet. It's not impossible to make it happen.
That's what we are doing, dude. Like
it is because you got Skankfest coming here, which 2 years in a row, which is big.
Right, and that should be packed. You can't say it's a comedy. Well, popularity, yes, but when it comes down to people coming out here and enjoying the comedy show, people do that a lot.
Yeah, they do. Like, dude, them Howlin' Wolf tonight.
What would you describe?
It's
what do
comedy
you?
city?
Yeah, how would you describe that? Because maybe we not basing this on the same definition.
I would say a lot of comedians. The only thing that is missing from us being a great comedy scene is more venues. But we have good comedians and we have good shows.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
not hurting
any major city in the country has good comedians and has at least a handful of decent shows.
I would say the main thing is like the level of big names in that area that are preparing their stuff in that area.
I think we got a good...
You know what I mean by that? Like the level of comics that are in LA, New York, and Austin, they're like the bigger names. So that's names. They prepare there, and then they go out, they branch out.
I think when we get to a point in which people stop acting surprised there's comedy in New Orleans, then we can work our way forward towards being comedy. There's a lot of people.
That's what I was saying yesterday
don't
too.
Even know people like, well, there's comedy here. When we get past that, like I said, I think it is going to take someone to make it out and become better. 2 or 3 people to really make it, and then come back and be like, hey, no, look, hey, this is what we in New Orleans.
This is what we own,
and this is what we doing. And then but you got to go somewhere and make it first, and then come back and help it go into a comment.
That's like
that's
big.
That's the big. We got a couple of comedians doing that right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that shit. That's why I get out of the state.
Saya's on the road.
I'm not. Yes, trying, but what he talking about is a certain kind. Like we all done Shannon Sharp podcast. We on that kind of level.
Yeah, I'm talking about
we out there. We didn't. Sheridan went did Madison Square Garden. I did one of them goddamn arenas in Europe. Pickle is traveling all over the fucking world. He breaking records for selling shit. You just had the #1 movie at the box office, and then we all come back to New Orleans after having that kind of run, and we open up 2 comedy clubs. Me and you doing this one, y'all 2 doing that one. Everybody see like, man, them niggas back home. Them niggas in Pickle back home, and like they got that. Like that's we a comedy
like
city.
what,
Now.
like what Nate Jackson did up in Seattle.
Yes.
Up in Washington.
Yes.
Like I ain't never heard a nigga be like, I gotta go see her what. But since he put that bitch in Seattle, see, I mean, all niggas talk about now is going and do that club up there.
Right, facts.
Yeah.
And he's
Tricks just did it.
And that's what I'm saying, right?
And
So
Seattle been a comedy scene too, but all it takes is that one thing to pop off in that city.
And that's what I'm saying. Down here, I think that's really what we need. Like it's gonna take 1-2 motherfuckers to really go out of here for real, and then come like, no, this was New Orleans.
I ain't gonna say we not working down here.
My only
but
thing
it's a journey.
My only thing with his comments was that he didn't even encourage people to go see a comedy show. You just said we straight out.
I told you that he could have threw us a bone. He could have threw us a bone.
Yeah, he didn't try to act like this. Where you from?
Well, to be fair, when he comes down here, he only goes to, can we believe, Sports Drink, right? And what they ain't the best display of comedy. It's all the ass motherfuckers that be over there. You're not even seeing the best.
And
we
you
have.
What you said?
Yeah,
you
well, because you're not even putting on the best display of what we have.
Right.
So if he came down here and saw the best display of what we had, he'd go, oh no, New Orleans got some shit. There's some motherfuckers down there who really
do this shit.
Yeah, but the motherfuckers that be over there, they ain't no great motherfuckers over there. They not.
You're right. We should be. He should have threw New Orleans a little more because he knows that, you know what I mean. Like he sells liquor here. His liquor here, and
his liquor be at New York
New York Pizza. Teddy and them be his sponsor.
I don't know the name.
If they say New York Pizza, they got the box sitting on the show where the sauce is. They have a box that shit, and they say Mark Norman and somebody else, another comedian.
All right.
Bodega Cat or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
All right. It's y'all know what it is.
I think it's like a whiskey or something like that. It's a whiskey.
Right.
Yeah, and McDesty sells that shit in his store, and he's like the only person in the city who sells it, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he could have gave New Orleans a little more of a shout out, you know. Especially I feel like with Skankfest. Did he do Skankfest last year? I don't know.
I wasn't there.
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure there were a few comics who got into Skankfest off of that liquor sponsorship that he puts here.
I also don't think he's that tapped in, honestly. I don't think, like a lot of these guys, like
he's not.
Him, Sean Patton, a lot of those guys, as great as they are, they're just not as tapped in. Outside of Sports Drink, they're not, and that's fine. It is what it is. Like you don't have the time to give a fuck so much, but they're not as tapped in as they should be.
These are theater level.
Yeah,
comics,
these are theater arena level guys. Like again, I just watched Mark Norman's special on Netflix. Pretty good fucking special. It's pretty funny. But like, again, like those guys are not. They don't have time to come down Hollywood. They don't have time to come other places and watch all these shows. If you're not at Sports Drink, when they come down there, then nigga, fuck you.
It's getting to know a whole scene of comics is an exhausting thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it took me 4.5 years to really get in Detroit scene, and I'm still meeting people.
Right.
You know, and it just for him to come back. I like Sean Patton because he does come back and he'll implement. I know Sean. You know what I mean? I get to know the dude when he comes here. I'll be like, hey, what's up? And have a conversation with him like a regular person.
Yeah, he hangs up.
But Mark Norman doesn't really do that, or Theo Von doesn't really do that. You know what I'm saying? Because these dudes they're up there. They got better things. Not I don't know about better, but they have their way of doing things now.
They have other things that they prioritize, and it's on everybody. It's for everybody to do. Now, one thing I will say that is different, and I feel like this is a how you raise kind of thing, because Pickle may agree, but like we went over at the beginning of the podcast, we was raised a little different than I guess, Silver Spoon white boy.
Yeah.
But us black people have that a lot. Like when we leave somewhere, some have that. Like I ain't never going back there. Fuck that. But it is black people who be like, I gotta go back and put my hometown on. I gotta like J. Cole in fucking Fayetteville. Nobody would know what no fucking Fayetteville is.
Right.
But he say it in every goddamn song. I may never go there in my life. I know it and all its nicknames because that's what he wanted to do. We can do that. Like the white comics, they gone. They grew up in New Orleans. It was all right, whatever. But black people be having that, like that heart soul bond to the, where you from. Mm-hmm. So when one of us really get out there like that, I'm pretty sure whoever the first one to get to that level probably will reach back or want to put something here or want to get to, or like came up with everybody. Them motherfuckers ain't come like, who the fuck Mark Norman came up through the ranks with down here?
It's a few comedians, but
a couple of them,
right?
Yeah, they have. I mean, Tiffany Haddish had her time here. Dr. Kim off of the Asian dude off of Hangover.
Oh yeah.
He was here. You know what I mean? Like Theo Von.
Red Bean.
Red Bean, you know what I mean? These dudes know Red Bean. You know what I mean? These guys fucking know Red Bean. All those dudes know who Red Bean and Nature Boy and all those dudes are. You know, a lot of comics left this bitch and made a name for themselves. And what they're not doing is come back and opening up a club. You know, because they left. They turned into a New York comic or an LA comic or a Nashville fucking comic. That's wherever they fucking decided to buy their house at comic. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I personally know what you're talking about because New Orleans will always be a home. I'll come back to this motherfucker and probably do something if anything big ever happened. You know, because I have family here and, you know, I'm just here. This is.
But I would want to like show love to the scene I came up through. So like if I get access to certain things, it's like, well, whoever's still back there, because you know your closest people you may take with you. You feel what I'm saying? Like, well, y'all gonna open for me or we gonna do this together, blah, blah, blah. But for everybody else, I still got love for just the scene in general. So I would want to try to pour back into it to make y'all journey easier or to give y'all more to do. True. Most of the shows in the city the comedians put on, niggas not feeding us. We feeding ourselves. Other cities got places that they hit you up. You go, you do the show. You know, I'm going to be over there on Thursday. Local comics. These not touring comics, but they can go to places regularly without having to put shows together. Nigga, all of us got our own goddamn shows. We are legit doing it alone. Right. And a lot of people don't have to do that. And granted, that may make us better down the road. But
a little easier when you have something where you can go, I have a home club. This is where I come from. Can I come do a show in your club? You know what I mean? And have like somebody to back you up. We don't have that. You know, Holland Wolf is my home club. You know what I mean? And that's music venue. Even though we've turned this bitch basically into a comedy club now.
Now that's what he told me when I had talked to him when old boy, because I did go see remember we was talking about going to see Ismo? I did go. So we was talking, he was like, yeah, you know, when I first started booking here, this was I looked at it as a music club and we did comedy. He was like, now, like out of my own mouth, I say we're a comedy club that do music now. Yeah. So that's how they feel over there too.
Yeah, I've been cutting my teeth in Howlin' Wolf, and it took a long time, you know, for us to get to that area. So that's why we're getting there, but it's also good that we're in the dark. You don't want to be in the light too early, bro. You know what I mean? That's why I never really fully left this bitch.
Buku people moving here.
That's what I'm saying. You know, if they find out that we got such a good scene to like become a comic. You know, because that's right now we all know each other and it's iron sharpens iron in this bitch. Right. And that's why I really love coming back here. You know what I mean? Troy fucking will bury me in a room. I have to come prepared to follow a Troy Duchesne. You know what I'm saying? I have to fuck, because if you're not, you will get sunk in this bitch and you will get buried by a pickle. You know what I mean? If you come to this bitch and thinking it's all good, you can get buried by a Harry or a Sean. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't play around. We do this shit every night and we do it seriously because this is our lives. This is what God gave me personally, literally. Facts. To go back to where I came from. This is what God gave me, and I'm not fucking around with it. I will go to other states and level that fuck. Dude, that's why I got on that tour, because I was in Austin, Texas, and Jamar Neighbors was in the Creek and Cave with me, and I was on stage, and they were doing Banana Foam, and he tried to, like, roast me, and I told him, you look like the project chick that took my virginity, and that shit just started. Dog, we started going back and forth in that bitch, and I won. You know what I mean?
You ended up on tour,
and I ended up on a golden ticket tour that I've never even been part of the Kill Tony show. I've definitely tried to get on there since 2021, but that's hard to get picked out this fucking bucket. Right? You know what I mean? But that's why it's good to go to other places and just be in other rooms, because you never know what can come from it. You never know what friend you get to make that will be like, man, this person is actually hilarious.
So you basically skipped the line. Well, you ain't on the tour with Tony and them, but you on tour. That's the goal anyway, to get on there and to get
booked. I'm either hosting or opening for him. You know what I mean? I'm not the face of this thing, but I get to I guess prepare. It's like a level. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's another one of those levels that God was like, all right, you've been working hard. Let's give you this. Let's see what you do with this level now. You know what I mean? And it's amazing. Yeah. You know what I mean? The things that you get to do in comedy, this is a privilege that we get to have.
Which cities do you know What cities you hitting? What cities y'all hitting?
I can. You want me to plug them real quick?
Yeah.
It's the Golden Ticket comedy tour. Go to goldenticketcomedytour.com, I believe. Hold on, he just sent me all the stuff earlier. We going let's see, it starts May 21st.
Okay.
It's so far
summer tour. Hell yeah.
So far June to June 14th.
Okay.
And we got more coming. But like we got Denver, Longmont, Dickens Opera House, 523 that's Golden Gnarly's Theater, Louisville, in the Louisville Underground, Albuquerque, Santa Fe, Colorado Springs, Kansas City,
hell yeah,
Wichita, another Kansas. We got 3 Kansas City dates. The Funny Bone.
Long as Canada ain't on there. It's gonna have to miss that.
Little Rock, Arkansas. That's gonna be a good one. I like Arkansas. There's some crazy people out there. Meth heads, come out to the show in Little Rock. What's happening? We OKC, Twisters Comedy Club, The Broken Arrow, and we got something in Tulsa and Dallas.
Hell yeah. Shout out to the Golden Ticket Tour. Y'all support
the Golden
that.
Ticket Tour. Go to goldentickettour.com and you can check out the dates and see all the people we got. We got like Drew Dickens. We got let me get everybody up real quick. JJ Alexander, Drew Dickens, Colton Sledge. Let's say his name right. Yeah, Colin Sledge. My bad. Colin Sledge, JJ Alexander, Drew Dickens, Timely Rain are the heads of it. You know, are like the main faces on it. So the Golden Ticket Tour, that's what it is. And I'm excited to be on it, man. We're going to hit the road, Jack, and get to meet new people and kill new rooms, bro.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind me asking, Pickle, and I know we probably it's going to seem like we all over, but how much time did you do in prison?
Oh, not long. I never went to prison. I went to jail.
You went to jail?
Yeah.
So so I ain't never
just a couple
I ain't never broke the law, so I don't really know the difference.
Altogether, like 2 months at the most, and that's all the fucking time that I've ever got arrested and sat down in a jail cell.
2 months
at the most.
How did you? Okay,
the last time I had a really good lawyer, I was looking at 8 years in Angola, and
that's prison.
That's prison. That's prison, dog. But that's honestly, I heard Angola is not as bad as fucking sitting in Gretna, dog. They say I've seen some bad shit in Gretna, bro. I've seen a dude get his head stomped in. I like it. Like they play games in that bitch.
What kind of games? They sound like they don't play no games up in there.
Dog, one dude. So I was in school with this one cat, and he was OG in that bitch, and we were cool and shit. And I was like, yo, I'll throw you a fucking honey bun when we get this, whenever commissary, because he was in that motherfucker. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm gonna throw you something. I ain't gonna be in this bitch too long, hopefully. And people in that bitch did not like us being friends. His name was Gary Payton. Looked just like Gary Payton, bro. But he was like prison. He was like ready for prison. He was prison buff in that bitch. And they ended up stealing my fucking OCD number and wrote a grievance to the warden. And I got called out into the hall one day, and they were in the ward. I didn't even know who the fucking warden was, bro. It was a lady. Did you know the warden to Gretna is a lady?
Never been in jail. Never need to know that.
Dude, she came up to me. It was like showing me this piece of paper, and they wrote a grievance up on my boy, whoever didn't, you know what I mean? Like they playing games. They got him kicked out of the cell. Basically, I woke up and he was gone, and I was like, "Oh, that's fucked up." But I'm going on about my day. The warden calls me out of the cell, and everybody in that bitch knows already. I don't know, you know what I mean? Because word spreads so fast in jail. It's literally like wake up, word spread. It's crazy, but they were like waiting to see my reaction on what I did, and I go out there. I talked to the warden, and I was like, I didn't write this, and she was like, "How can you tell?" I said, I can prove it to you. I said, "Give me a pen, and I'll show you my handwriting, my signature." And I showed it to her, and she was like, "All right." I was like, "Can I get a piece of paper? Can I get one of these?" So I can show that, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get fucking stabbed in fucking Gretna, dude. And she was like, "No, we're not gonna do that." I was like, "That's fucked up."
What's
dude.
the grief? What was your grievance against him?
I didn't have one.
I'm saying, what did they say?
I don't remember.
all right.
I don't really remember. I wasn't into all that. They had pretty handwriting though.
Oh.
And I was like, "But you got handwriting like a girl, whoever you fucking did this." I walked back in that cell room. I said, "All you motherfuckers in this bitch, you want to write a grievance up on somebody, do it in your own name and your own handwriting, you fucking pussies." And dog, they were like, OGs was like, "All right." Like, I was like, "Yeah, bitch." And I said, "Oh yeah, and whoever did it had handwriting like a girl. Like it was pretty." You know what I'm saying? The motherfuckers in jail are detectives, bro. They don't give a fuck. They fucking looking for that person, you know. It was like, it gets fucking, because you ain't got nothing better to do. Mm-hmm. You sitting up in that motherfucker playing cards or dominoes or whatever, and you just waiting for some drama.
I say, some people be up in that bitch rapping and shit. I'm not about to be up in that bitch.
It's so funny.
Cracking no jokes.
When I was in jail, the girls down the hall was rapping. The dudes was quiet. The shorties was right. They was freestyling their ass off.
The most talented people you'll ever find.
Oh, they was going in.
Yeah, they be getting it. They was rapping up and I rapped with them a little bit up in there. Yeah, they were like, "Oh, white boy could rhyme words." I was like, "Yes, bitch, I'm
rhyme words,
rhyme words, rhyme words, rhyme.
White boy could rhyme
words."
Nah, that shit was bump. I was in there by myself. Everybody, the cell next to me was like where everybody was. Yeah. I was in the shit by myself because the little chick the night before when I went there, she was like, "Oh shit, what you doing here?" I said, "I guess I'm going to jail." So
I assume.
So she go to tell everybody like, "Oh, he do comedy and stuff. I've been to his shows. He funny. He do comedy. Blah blah blah." They was like, "Oh, for real? You do comedy and stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a
You
comedian."
recently with the whole take, bro?
Yeah. So they put me in that thing by myself after that. They didn't put me with nobody else.
Oh wow.
I was like, "Oh, how nice," but I'm in here bored as shit.
He was hollering at the hoes up in that bitch, and they were like, "Come here, pretty boy."
Yeah,
get your ass in there.
But I was watching all the dudes, through my little window. I'm watching all the dudes going like the main cell, and I was just like, "Yeah."
You gotta finish that.
Yeah, no, yeah. I was watching all the dudes.
That ain't the place to just be watching all the dudes.
I shouldn't have put that comma right there. You right.
That nigga said through my little window.
You gotta pause. Isn't that a thing? You're supposed to pause.
I was watching all the dudes through my window.
So I was in the hole.
I was happy that they did put me in the cell by myself. I didn't want to be in there with them. I was looking at them like, yeah, that ain't the company I keep. Yeah. I chill over here by myself.
If I ever go, hey, know who I am, please put me by myself.
Nigga said, Harry just walking. I do comedy. Just want to say.
I'm the comedian, nigga. Comedian Harry Landry. Put me by myself, please. Don't put me with them niggas. Please don't do it.
Because the next day, the next shift came, and they was like, because I didn't know that I was in the med cell, because it's a single. So they was like, "What you doing in here?" I'm like, "Nigga, I don't fucking know. This is where they put me at."
You were downstairs?
Yeah. They like, "Who are you?" I was in Gretna, yeah. Okay. They was like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "Nigga, y'all, you know all the paperwork out there." They was like, "But why they put you in here?" I'm like, "The shift from last night didn't leave no messages." Like, no. And then what made me realize that they put me in here by myself, because old girl told him I do comedy, I do shows and shit. Because he asked me, he was like, "You do something?" Or like, "You do like outside of here? Like you somebody you do something?" I was like, "Oh, I do comedy." And he was like, "Oh, that's probably why they put you in here." He just walked off. Like, yeah.
Oh, you got that comedy privilege?
Yeah, I guess they're like, if you somebody people care about, we don't want you in here getting fucked up, and then we got to deal with that.
So why'd you go to jail?
Speeding.
How'd you go to jail speeding?
Because I was drinking.
They gave you a DWI? Mm-hmm. Damn it, Sean.
I know. Yeah.
Damn it, dude.
Bad decision making that. I was pissed. Me and my baby mama got into it. And when I'm pissed, I drive fast. That's how I blow off steam. So it wasn't even like just, I just was like, That's how
Don't do drugs. Don't drink and drive.
Yeah. I've been the speed limit doing motherfucker since
The
then.
lesson learned here is be good at comedy. Put your content out. Do good on stage because you never know when it might serve you.
That's right. Comedy privilege is better than white privilege.
No, we ain't about to tell fucking lie. No, we ain't about to tell a lie. No,
It's the only privilege I have left.
Shit, we ain't about to tell a lie.
It is.
Nigga say nobody on this sofa got white privilege.
We ain't about to tell a lie.
You already know what it is.
Yeah, y'all, we about to get up out of here. But before that, I want to say thank you again, Pickle, for being a guest on the pod.
Man, this was a great talk.
It was fun.
Hell yeah, y'all.
I come back anytime, bro. I got drug stories for days.
Most definitely. Drug stories with Pickle, new segment. Too.
Yeah, thanks.
But all right, let the people know where they can follow you at.
It's Pickle, baby, on Instagram. Follow me over there and make sure to go if you're in any of those states and like the summertime, end of May, beginning of June. Go check out the Golden Ticket Tour. Go on goldenticketttour.com and get some tickets and come out and hang out with us. We're gonna have a good time.
Hell yeah, y'all.
Anything else going on besides the tour? Just the tour you got coming. That's it.
I mean, April 1st.
Pickle will be on the Sean Show April 1st,
April
man.
1st,
Stop playing with it.
on the Sean Show, baby. Let's get it.
You guys ask the right questions.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah. That's the right questions. Yeah, there you go.
All right. That's it, Pickle. That's all you want to say, man.
That's all I want to say, man. Thank you guys for having me.
Y'all keep supporting Pickle. Keep supporting Let's Talk Ball. This has been another episode. If you know ball, let's talk ball.
And if you don't know ball, shut the fuck up.
And we out.
You hear me?